Hey there, it's time once again for the Meaningful Measurable Marketing Podcast. I'm Jen Carroll.
And I'm Annalisa Hilliard. Together, we are the Dames of Data Dames Marketing. As the Dames, Jen and I are marketing strategy consultants who help our clients align marketing, business goals, and measure results that matter.
As longtime friends, we avidly consume and critique all kinds of drinks, spend as much time outdoors as possible, and are always learning.
We also strive to stay on top of what's happening in our industry.
Our goal with this podcast is to look at today's biggest marketing trends, many requiring enterprise-level teams and budgets to fully implement, and try to apply them in ways that make sense for small to mid-sized businesses.
We hope you'll subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. You can connect with Jen and me via our website, datadamesmarketing.com, or on LinkedIn, where we do most of our social media networking.
So here we are today on the Data Dames podcast, and we are trying something new. We have invited, we have invited a guest today to join us. I'm welcoming Denise Hobson. She is the marketing director, Great Lakes region of Visual Edge Technology. Hey, Denise.
Hello there.
Hey, nice to have you with us.
Welcome to the show.
I know.
The podcast
Thank you.
show.
I know. And we're going to get started right away with the serious stuff.
Oh,
I know.
Get serious.
all right, be
It's
serious.
hard. It's a Friday, so.
I know. So I'd love for you to tell folks a little bit about yourself and then tell them what you're drinking today.
In that order.
Like I said, that right.
Yeah, make sure you're in
in
that
all
order.
seriousness.
Okay. A little about me. Okay, so I am like you said, the director for the Great Lakes region, and locally what that means is marketing for graphic enterprises and Copyco.
Mm-hmm.
We are an office technology company, and that includes offices in Michigan as well. Let's see. I am not drinking anything exciting. I'm drinking green tea with honey right now.
Hey, I
Ooh.
just had that.
Yeah, that's an Annalisa favorite.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, all
Are
right.
you doing iced or hot?
Hot.
Okay, good.
I know. It kind of it's
It's
November.
that time of year,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, for sure. I just finished drinking a really large mug of Ohio Tea Company Kenyan tea. So with a little bit of with a little bit of cream and sugar. So I do it the British way. We got some black Kenyan tea, and that's how I was handling my afternoon. I know, just a little kick of caffeine to finish the day here.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to do our small business shout out. But we're going to do a little bit of something different today. We're going to let Denise take the floor, and she's going to give her shout out today.
Okay, cool. I just would love to give a shout out to an organization called Compassion Delivered, and they are a nonprofit in Stark County, and their main focus is to create, cook, and deliver nutritious meals to folks who have cancer, or basically if they have some sort of life-threatening illness that they're spending their time either in cancer treatments or other treatments, and they're not really getting nutritious. The last thing on their mind is a nutritious meal. So what this organization does is they work with the hospitals and get referrals from them, and people apply, and then they make all these meals. They deliver them to them, and even through COVID, that is one thing that they wanted to make sure that these people still had access. They even went above and beyond, like delivering groceries and everything, and other things that they needed. So, yeah, so it's a great organization, and I fully support them, and I think they are absolutely amazing for what they do.
Wow, I didn't even know that was going on right here in our backyard. What's it called again?
Compassion Delivered.
Compassion Delivered. Do they have a website?
They do. It's compassiondelivered.org.
Okay, compassiondelivered.org. I'm thinking, a lot of times people are part of faith communities or other kinds of things, and they do, meal trains for people who have need. But this sounds like an amazing organization, because there's, probably a lot of people who who don't have, a group to come around them and like make them meals. I think that's really awesome. I'm glad you shared that. Thank you.
Do they have just one office location, or are they mostly just remote? Or
the office location is they're working out of their home. It is a couple who started this, Amanda and Daniel Anschutz, and they make the meals. A church has let them come in and use their kitchen, so they make all the meals there. Volunteers deliver the meals every week. They have really, like I said, even during COVID, they have really stepped up, and it was one of those things where how could you not?
Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't even know, and now I know. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Denise. Yeah.
Yeah. And, they would have had a big fundraiser this year, and they were not able to do that, obviously. They have a big gala that they put on every October, and they tried something different to raise money through a little drive-through experience. They were able to raise some money, but again, just like every other nonprofit, right now they're just not getting the donations that they typically would because everybody's focus is elsewhere. So it's a great organization, and I like to support them.
Oh. And we'll definitely share the link to their website in our podcast transcript, and so it'll be available there for people to find as well. Thanks, Denise, for that. Cool.
Oh, you're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about your career in marketing. How long have you been in marketing, and how have things evolved over the years?
Well, I'm an old person. So.
like me.
Been doing this back in the old days. Actually, I kind of started by accident. It was one of those moments where I was working for a builder, basically doing admin things for them, and they needed someone to put together brochures and write descriptions of their homes. And so I started doing that. I'm like, hey, I'm really good at making them look good. Maybe I should, further my education. But the building industry, 2007, 2008 kind of really took a nosedive. That was when the economy was really kind of bad.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see the writing on the wall. I knew that I would have to look for another, if I wanted to continue in marketing, which I thought this is my passion. I would have to finish getting my degree, which I started many years before, and then I would have to look elsewhere. So in the middle of all that, going to the University of Akron, getting my degree, I started at Graphic Enterprises and Copy Co. 13 years ago. When I first started there, they really didn't have a marketing department. Their advertising and marketing was spending thousands of dollars in yellow page ads.
Oh, wow.
Talk about old school.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
And that was normal for their industry to do that.
So, this seems like very appropriate time to ask how the marketing function is structured at Graphic Enterprises and Copy Co. So, tell us a little bit more about that evolution then.
Right. So I had to bring them into this century. So,
See, you're not that old.
Trailblazer. Not at all. You were.
I'm a grandma, for crying out loud.
Oh,
that's only a title. That's not an age.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
That is true. Well, we started looking at the website, which was barely functioning at that time. And there were so many more things that you could do with the website. And basically, when I got there, you could go on, you can request a service call, or you could request someone send you supplies. So that has come a long way. Still has a long way to go. As you know, it changes daily.
Right.
Every time I say something like, oh, we really have to work on our SEO, they'll say, now, what is that again? Okay.
So you're still dragging them into the century a little bit. Got it.
Yeah. We call them legacy employees, people that have been around in the industry for years and years and years. And, they are all about feet on the street, making the phone calls, which is what you should do. But there are other ways that you can get those inbound leads, which would make their lives so much easier. So,
and I guess that speaks to, how sales and customer service and marketing might work together at at Copyco, or?
It's complicated just because there are two companies, and writing marketing for one, you have to do a separate but equal marketing plan for the next one. Some things are similar, but you can't do the same thing, especially when you're writing, two website content, and then you're working with our service department, and they have needs that they need to do, and then you have our supply sales, and then you have our feet on the street equipment representatives that go out there, and it's just a delicate dance, I guess.
I like that. That makes me think. You aren't alone, I'm sure, in old school organizations that are looking to new technology to help with the marketing and the sales. What advice do you have for other marketing managers? Like, I guess I didn't define this originally. Do you have a team that you're working with? Are you, kind of flying solo? And then how, what advice do you have for other people in similar organizations?
I am flying solo. I am the sole marketing person. Any support that I have some IT support. I have a digital marketing team that I work with, also website designers.
Are they in-house, or you work with, or not?
Oh, we contract with them. They're not in-house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my advice would be to keep learning. Learn everything. Learn about design. You might be designing your own, not just website, but your own brochures, your own flyers to support your sales team. A lot of times they say, if I only had a piece of paper that I could drop off and say that I was there, they're going to want some sort of special or something to help explain what they are and what they do. So learn design, learn the back end of how search engine optimization works. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, though. So you have to learn about algorithms, learn about how Twitter works, how Facebook works, learn about advertising, learn about Google. You just have to constantly learn about everything that you can, because all we have, it's hard to sometimes prove ROI. And all we have is what we can prove that we've done. So we have data,
Yay, data.
Yay, data.
Well, that's a great segue. How are you using data? I mean, what have you found to be the most valuable data asset that you're measuring?
Anything that I can take to our company president, he'll go, wow.
The wow stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, things that I take to him, it's like, okay, what is our, it's anything that you can pull up on your Google is, what pages are visited most? We're finding blogs that somebody wrote many years ago.
Who would that be? Wait, me? Oh,
I don't. Miss Jennifer Carroll, some very, very smart lady.
Oh, thank you.
Back then it was actually a new concept, writing blogs, right?
Yeah.
Fairly new, especially in our industry.
Yeah.
As a way to get keywords onto your website that, Uncle Google can't come in and say, we're not recognizing that anymore. So it was a way to do that. So we knew that we had to do something to get that information on our website and make us look smart. We contacted a very smart lady to help us do that. But those blogs, shameless plug.
Thank you.
Those blogs are still doing very well. It's crazy that they are, but they still are doing very well. So I'll show them stuff like that. Like, I told you we shouldn't stop writing blogs because look at this. They're still, doing very well. People are visiting our website just to get that information. Right now it's about our digital, how well we do Google ads. We work with one of our manufacturers, HP, and they're very much into digital advertising. So we have to do a certain amount of ad placement, things like that, so that HP will say, okay, we'll reimburse you for that. So anything that I can show him that okay, last year we had this many visitors to our site. This year we had this many visitors to our site. That impresses him.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are they doing when they get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What pages are they visiting? What are they hanging on? Stuff like that.
Yeah, which I think speak to not just the searchability of those blog posts, certainly, as you said, keywords, but also probably from a user standpoint, there's something there that is worthwhile, that's, educational, informative, etc., that gets their attention and that keeps them there to explore other parts of the website.
Yeah, so bringing your end users or your visitors value, that's huge.
And really, that's right. That was the whole thing behind content marketing. That was the purpose from the start, right? Is to provide value to your.
And I think in some ways that was a kind of a sort of a whole new concept. I'm not saying that marketers never provided value before. That's certainly not the case. But I think that idea of using education or valuable information as a way to reinforce your brand as well as draw people to it was kind of a revolutionary concept in marketing. Obviously, it's matured quite a bit now, but it's still that's still the goal. That's still the why you do it.
Right, marketing with intent now instead of just blowing out the keywords and making sure they're in there somewhere. Now it's with intent. 10 years ago that was a new concept.
Yeah.
Just like with how you evolved marketing at Copyco and Graphic Enterprise. Online now, it kind of has an evolution of its own.
Well, I like what you had to say too about, learning. Obviously, that's one of our guiding principles at Data Dames is learn, always be learning. And I liked how you talked about how you provide other kinds of content for the sales team. And I'm sure that that's a really valuable thing for, marketing to be doing and working hand in hand with sales. As you mentioned that, it's not just the online content, although I think that's key. It's, making sure that they have what they need in their hands to do what they need to do. And that's probably, I would guess that's a big part of your work.
Right. I mean, they have to be able to tell a story and provide the customer with not only their story, but what all we can do now. So, it used to be just copiers, and copiers can do all these things now. Now it's, we've added printers. Now we've managed IT services, and managed print services, and we keep as a company adding value, and it's harder and harder to tell that story in a 30-second elevator speech. That's what sales are used to doing. So we have to find ways for them to be able to tell their story and keep the message consistent. And, you get these young people come in, and then you have these legacy employees, and they're all doing it differently, but the message has to be consistent. So that's another way that marketing is in there, helping them guide that piece of it.
And, messaging is something that I talk a lot about with clients. You've kind of talked about, the messaging from product and service standpoint. I'd like to maybe flip that a little bit and ask about how do you find out what the pain points for your primary audiences are? How do you find out what those pain points are, those challenges they're facing, so that you can align your messaging with what those pain points are?
It's conversations with our sales staff, going into their weekly meetings and, talking about, what's happening out there. Why did you not make this sale, but this sale, why were we able to meet their needs here? Having those conversations. Sometimes it's people writing in just in emails just saying, hey, you did a great job. You were able to do this, this, and this. And it's like, okay, if that person found what we had valuable, how can we capitalize on that and make that available to everybody and make sure that message is out there consistently as well.
Well, and there's another example of where you're working hand in hand with sales while you said it's a delicate dance, I'm definitely, hearing you say it's also, a critical aspect of what you do every day as a marketer. And I still encounter, businesses where, sales, customer service, and marketing are all siloed. Doesn't sound like that's not a great strategy.
No, it's never going to be a great strategy because you'll never, if you're the marketing person and you're in a silo and you're just throwing darts, if you're not communicating with even our service team, they'll come up with some things that, we should be doing this better. We should be doing this better. Okay, well, let's see how we can do that. It's again, keeping those lines of communication open, making sure that they know that they can come to you and that you're listening. You have to work with your sales team. It's not ever going to be easy, but, and I could tell you plenty of stories. However, but that's part of the job. If you're not working with your sales team, if you're not figuring out what their needs are, and if you're not making sure that, they won't cooperate with you and send the consistent message out unless they're getting what they feel like they need as well.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's, well said. Well, 2020 has, I'm sure, been a fun year, right? Not? Yeah. Not. And I know that plenty of marketers, or pivot has been the word, right? I'm
right.
Sorry, overused.
The year of the pivot.
Yep, the year of the pivot, overused. Sorry, but we'll. I guess, what would you say? When we say adjustment instead of pivot, what's your biggest challenge that you're looking at right now, and how are you contemplating or adjusting? What's that look like for you?
I had this genius marketing plan for this year, but
that you rolled out in January.
They rolled out in January, and then March it came to a screeching halt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I guess the adjustment had to be making sure that the customer knew that, especially at the beginning, the essential companies that we were working for, the hospitals, the police departments, the doctor's offices, those messages had to be, hey, we're still here. We're open because we have to support you, and we're supporting essential businesses, so we are considered essential, so we're still here. So the messages changed from, hey, we've got this product, to we're still here. We're going to support you. We still have a service team. We still have salespeople that will get you set up to help your workers work from home. We've got our IT support that will help you make sure that the workers that are working from home are safe and they're not getting any bugs and things in their equipment. If we need to get you a printer and a laptop, we can, certainly handle that. So the message had to change quite a bit to cater to people going home and working from home. It went from, large pieces of office equipment to let's make sure that you have everything that you need, your printer if you need one, your laptop if you need one, your IT backup if you need one. That's how messaging had to completely change in March.
Yeah. And how did what do you think was the most effective channel for getting that message out? Where did you see people really getting that message the best?
Yeah, that is a great question, and I'm not sure I can answer that because I myself was in panic mode.
Right.
So I sent emails out on a consistent basis. Is there anything that you need? Here's what we have, that kind of stuff. I made sure that our website had the message on there saying we are still open. We are taking all the precautions necessary. We changed the messaging on our service. And people requested service on our website and filling out the form. We had to change the form to say, is there anything that we should know ahead of time? Any safety protocol that we should know ahead of time before we come out there? And then making sure our service department called them ahead of time to make sure they could still get in. And there were customers that were completely shut down. Yes, our copy your book, but you can't come in. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of I feel like it's still an evolving process to get messaging heard right now. There's so much noise. Annalise and I've talked about that many times, that there's a lot of noise going on right now and lots of layers of challenge this year. It's not just one challenge. It's been 10. So or more,
Right.
10 or more, right? And yeah, we're just we're all just on, focused on let's just put one foot in front of the other right now. So I get it. And so I guess that brings me to the question, what wisdom have you gained? And I mean, obviously, I think if our listeners didn't already know, you're, a B2B marketer, and there's B2B challenges that are very unique. What do you feel like has been some wisdom that you would like to share with other marketers who, like you, are in B2B and who are pivoting, who are, adjusting and putting one foot in front of the other right now?
Don't panic.
Don't do what I did. No, no, just kidding. No.
I think probably the biggest advice would be just to be open to the change. I think as a marketing person, this is something that you do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That you're just kind of open to the changes that have to be made and be able to adjust, according to the wind at any given moment. And, especially a single marketer, working for a large company, being able to do a lot with just a little. So, don't be afraid of change, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't get so bogged down in something that I think that was one of the things that I did early on, is just like put so much into, really be passionate about this one piece of your whole marketing plan, that you just focus on that. Just don't be too married to any certain part of your marketing plan. Sometimes you get those and you're passionate about it and you just want it to go, and it doesn't work. So just not be afraid to let that go, bring on the next thing, and to be open-minded, I guess, is the biggest thing. Don't panic and be open-minded.
I think that goes well with what we talk about when we talk about digital marketing being a long game.
Right.
And it's more of a marathon than a sprint.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people also have the misperception that digital marketing is like fast, when actually it takes time and effort to put all these pieces into place. And then, like you said, you need to recognize, like, okay, we put this piece into place. It's not performing the way we want it to. We need to go in a different direction, and that's okay.
Yeah, I bet those initial blog posts didn't perform for a couple of months. Like, you didn't really see the outcomes or the fruit of that labor for, typically it's, 3 to 6 months is what we say for like a short time to look at return on something like that. Depends on what industry and how competitive the field is. But yeah, but now you're still seeing outcomes from that content, which is how many years now that content has existed.
Gosh, that's what got to be like 9 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of cool, and an example that it's like still giving back. And we talk about like the paid side of online search and online marketing, and how like it's more of a short game, and as soon as you stop running your ads, you stop getting leads, and how that contrasts with the organic and the long-term stuff like blog content on your site.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the other piece too is like, you do not have to be in every single social media out there.
Wait. Say that again.
Yeah, say that again.
Say that again.
Just because it's available does not mean you have to be on every single piece of social media.
So you're not doing TikTok yet? Just kidding.
I tried, but these copiers, they're just nothing sexy about a copier.
That's awesome. They wouldn't do a video for you?
No.
They wouldn't do a video. TikTok is another one. They refuse. They just never picked up the moves.
Oh, those uncooperative copiers.
No, that's wisdom. Because,
yes, that is wisdom.
Yeah, we have to talk to like any handful of clients that we've gotten over the years. Like they'll be like, yeah, we're here and here, and what should our strategy be? And usually we're like, well, let's figure out which of those platforms you really should be active on and kind of forget about the rest.
Yeah, you spread yourself too thin, especially, that goes back to you being the only person in your role. You don't have, like, you're not surrounded by a huge team, I imagine you have to pick and choose like you said, pick and choose your strategies because you're only one person. Now you have like support. But again, you're kind of, I don't want to say flying solo, but yeah, you've got a lot of things you've got to manage. So I imagine you have to be pretty selective.
Right. Where can I get the biggest bang for my buck? And of course, that's so cliche, but, honestly, if you're trying to come up with content for every single thing and then you find yourself repeating the same content for every little thing, you have 5 social media platforms that you're using and you're trying to create content for all 5 of them, then you find yourself running out of content, running out of ideas, and then you're repeating them all. I mean, I feel like you just lose a little credibility. So you just have to focus and do that.
Yeah. That's another big thing we talk about a lot. Yep. Focus. Oh, well, Denise, you have a ton of wisdom. Thank you. Seriously.
So thank you.
Oh, no. Tell us, what are you learning right now, since you love to learn, and we love that, or what is bringing you joy? Yeah.
Well, in the year of COVID, we are focusing on the little things. The thing that is bringing me joy, as you both know, is my granddaughter. She's 5 months old today. She's just so stinking cute right now. And they just sent me a video of her just giggling.
That's awesome.
And at the dog, it is so cute. But yeah, I mean, that's new for me. And she looks so much like, I have twin girls, and she looks so much like them because we triplets when they were babies. So it's just a bizarre, deja vu kind of
experience.
But
yes,
it's just so fun. And she's just so sweet. And by me constantly trying to be with this baby, I'm also spending more time, with my daughters too.
Oh, yeah.
So, parenting has changed a little bit, believe it or not.
I do. I do believe it.
Right. Things that, we did, they don't do now.
Of course.
And vice versa. Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
So you're just, I'm learning, the different, you have to use special water for formula now.
Oh.
Yeah. Just little random things. The technology that they have for babies now, there's this sock thing that you can monitor their sleep.
Oh. So for SIDS or other kinds of like breathing and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so you see how often they wake up, see if they, their oxygen levels are, dip at any given point. They're like, did I ever want to know that information?
Right.
I was going to say, are we lucky that we're alive? Because like our parents had none of that stuff. Like,
right.
It's amazing. We're breathing.
I mean, there's an app for that. I mean, she can turn on. Yeah. That's the new thing. She can turn on the sound machine from her phone. And I'm in the baby's room, and she turns on that sound when I'm trying to get her to, to sleep or whatever. And she can turn it on and off from there. I mean, there's an app for everything with babies now.
Yeah, my kids are pretty much grown, so I missed out on the app for that.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually I haven't really talked to anybody for a while and who's got, a young baby. So that's really actually pretty interesting. So are you feeling like you're embracing all of that, or not so much, or?
I don't know. It's like, I had twins and we had bumper pads and they don't do that anymore. And, I didn't have like a video monitor where I can look at my phone to see if my baby is awake or not. I just listened. So, I'm just fascinated by it all. Let's just put it that way. I am fascinated by all of it, and I like to learn anyway. So that's a source of education for me. And of course, I have a million questions, which drives my daughter crazy. But I'm just curious. Like, is that necessary?
I don't know. I love it. I love your I love your desire to keep learning and the curiosity, and I just think that makes you probably a great grandma. And that didn't sound good. You're not a great grandma. You are a grandma who is great.
Is that great comma?
I know, a grandma who is great.
She's our wordsmith right there.
I know. And also a great marketer, Denise. Of course, I have known you a long time, and I just really appreciate that you came and talked with us today. Well, actually, we're social distancing
remotely. Yeah.
Yes, remotely, and just appreciate all the wisdom that you shared. Thanks.
Well, yeah, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me on today. Thanks for even considering me for thinking that I had wisdom. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate, relationships and getting to know Annalisa now. I love surrounding myself with really smart people who are passionate about what they do. Marketers, we got to stick together.
Yeah. It gives us like a multiplication of learning.
Yeah.
Because like we're learning and you're learning, and when we get together, it's like, great to share.
And just validating, when you're the lone marketer in your company and you're dealing with rows and columns people, and you're like, hey, this is where I think we should go. And they're like, I don't think so. And then you meet with a bunch of marketers like, oh my gosh, that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
So it helps.
Validation sometimes. Yeah.
Denise, we appreciate you. We appreciate the professional relationship we've developed and for all the wisdom that you shared. Thank you.
Thanks. It was fun.
That wraps up another episode of Meaningful, Measurable Marketing. If you manage marketing, sales, customer service, or operations for a growing small business, we hope you found this podcast helpful. Any tool, resource, or article we reference can be found in the show notes for this episode. And if you haven't already subscribed to our podcast or left us a review, we hope you'll do both today. I'm Jen Carroll. My co-host Annalisa Hilliard and I are marketing strategy consultants, and together we are the Data Dames of Data Dames Marketing. Learn more about us at datadamesmarketing.com.